the new moon in Cancer can represent a deep time for emotional nourishment, we cannot get there without being emotionally honest about what our true feelings are in this moment in time. We're going to talk about the new moon in Cancer. Welcome back to my page. My name is Brenna. I'm a human design reader and astrologer of 9.5 years, teaching you how to break down the practical elements of human design and astrology so that you can actually make real changes in real time. So in this video, I'm going to cover what exactly a new moon is, how it affects us for each of our rising signs, as well as the implementation of it when we're looking at it through the lens of human design, and how we can really bloom where we're planted at this time. We're being where our feet are. I will say that phrase 101 times because it really is so true and important for us to focus on what's happening in the present tense. That's how we make real changes that are going to set us up for success tomorrow, next year, and many years to come. So the new moon is always a time for manifestation, where the full moons are a time for release rituals, where we're really letting go to shed weight of what's to come, or what we want to plant seeds for, what we want to manifest during the new moon. Now, especially because Mars is in Virgo, we're creating this energy of really focusing on what is working during this time. We don't want to hyper focus on what we want to manifest only without creating practical, tangible action plans or steps to carry it through or to see it through. Now, on July 10th, we're going to have a full moon in Capricorn. So we're really going to focus on what can we do for these next 2 weeks? What are our top 3 goals that we can create or set a foundation for or become aware of, so that we're able to plant seeds and grow them and then harvest the fruits of our labor during the full moon? What do we need to release to repeat the cycle, to create our manifestations? Every 2 weeks, we are in this kind of flow. Now, what does the new moon specifically mean when it's in Cancer? Cancer is a sign that is very maternal, very motherly, very nurturing, very caring, and really focusing on where we can create a lot of nourishment. I always associate the word nourishment with Cancer because it's nourishing on every single level. And we're also becoming really aware of where other people aren't really taking care of us like they should. This is where Cancer gets this energy of being a little bit crabby, a little bit more agitated. It doesn't really take them very long to flip a switch and then change up on you when they're feeling upset or wounded. Now, where the beneficial aspects of this placement, or what's happening with the new moon in Cancer, is that it's raising our awareness of how to care for ourselves and other people, how to just care for the underserved and underprivileged in our community, in the world, bigger capacity to care for animals, things along those lines. It's also giving us these kind of sweeping generalizations when it comes to like basically being delusional, right? Like really paying attention to where we're being realistic of our situations and not being so delusional that we can just manifest or passively pray away the things that are happening in our atmosphere, the things that are happening within us emotionally, and just kind of let go and let God. Now, there can be times where that is incredibly helpful and actually practical, but you really just want to take a look out for where is there this hyperfixation for certain people in your life that are delusional. If you are watching this video, you are probably not a person at all that falls into that camp. You probably wouldn't have made it that far at all into any of my videos, and really are paying attention to the ways that you can make big changes anyway, because you want to be an active participant in your life versus a passive one. Now, we also have Jupiter that is in conjunction with the moon, because that basically means that Jupiter is in Cancer. It's right next to our moon that's in Cancer, and it's going to be in gate 52 in human design, which is known as the archetype of the mountain, or creating stillness. Jupiter is an amplifier as much as it is a protector. So it's like turning the dial up on whatever the energy is at this time. So again, amplifying that motherly quality, amplifying that nourishment quality, amplifying our emotions, that Cancerian water sign, that little crab that's scurrying along the shoreline, and really paying attention to what it needs before it hermits again, goes back into its shell. Now, the gate of stillness, and it's what I mentioned a little bit ago, is really being where our feet are. How can we be firm no matter the weather? If you really look at the archetype of a mountain, it is powerful. There's this ancient wisdom and presence that comes with surrounding that mountain energy, or that surrounds that mountain and creates its energy that is really, really powerful, even in its silence. It's kind of like this unmesswithable attitude that people really don't want to push its buttons, no matter the weather that's happening around it. It chooses to literally remain calm amidst the storm. Now, I'm going to go deeper about this with my Patreon people. If you aren't a member of my Patreon and you do want to join and you want to participate in our new moon manifestation circle, it's only $22 a month. Sign up via the link below, not via the app, because it's also going to be more affordable for you. Or you can also grab my $5 new moon in Cancer workbook that really focuses on how to be, if you're feeling a little bit more hermity and being like a little bit more in your hermit shell, your hermit crab shell, so to speak. That is a really good resource for you to just get a quick guide. You can use it every June when we have a new moon in Cancer. This happens every June. you can use it again and again. It's really the gift that keeps on giving. So that's also available in the show notes. But riffing off of that, right, when we're talking about being still, gate 52, gate of stillness, we're very focused on creating any sort of inner stillness, stillness in our outwards environment, at home within our body. I mentioned that in my Energy the Day the Human Design Way video for June 22nd. That's on my social media pages in shorts format here. But really focusing on just those grounded aspects. Gate 52 also sits in the root center, so it's very much tied to root chakra, root centered grounding and healing. Now, for each of the rising signs, what can we really focus on that's going to help us to not completely fall apart as this energy is making us very emotional? And it's a little bit of like we go there and it make it worse before it gets better. It's like how you have to clean a wound before you start to repair it so it can heal. That's really a big focus of this new moon in Cancer for many people, and a lot of the conversations that I've been having. So what's really beautiful about this moon for Pisces risings, there is a major emphasis on childlike joy and also romanticizing your life at this point. You guys get to be a little bit more delulu because it is really the solution for you during this time. It's really focusing on what you can do to just celebrate the small things. Maybe you are really amplifying the summerween aspect if it's been really rainy in your corner of the world, where you have special treats and snacks and you're watching Stranger Things like we are in my household all from the beginning again, right? Really this energy of like celebrating what is happening in real time and making it romantical, romanticizing it, right? Making it a little bit more of a fantastical element to this, because you're also being urged to celebrate your childlike joy and the things that are bringing you that childlike joy. Maybe you're reminiscing on the things that happened when you were a kid growing up and how you celebrated certain things during summer camp or during the summer season, or the things that you really love to do. This is a perfect time for you guys to make your summer bucket list, to really plan what it is that you will know makes you feel good during the summer months, the foods that you like to eat, the things that you like to do, going to all the summer carnivals and fairs. That's really going to be a good emphasis for you to focus on during this new moon in Cancer, and clearing out all the emotional baggage that's stopping you from getting there. If you are an Aquarius rising like myself, we are really focusing on working on our fitness. We are in the gym, we are organizing, we're also becoming really aware of how we are to be of service to people. A lot of my offerings have started to change, and I'm getting much more dedicated to showing up for you guys on social media, because I can really feel you guys calling me and pulling me to connect with you, to just really feel comforted in our corner end of the world. I go on live on here and also on TikTok. I've been cross posting and dual streaming Wednesday and Thursday nights starting around 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. Sometimes I go live a little earlier, but just to be really grounded in how we can be of service to our community. That's something that we're getting very emotionally clear on. But as an Aquarius rising, you always want to focus on, if you're nourishing other people, it needs to be nourishing to you in some capacity. If I didn't enjoy being online, I ain't going online, right? I'm going to postpone it, change it up, change my offerings if that was what I was called to do during this time. So if you're also an Aquarius rising, you want to really prioritize on getting your nourishment, getting your physical activity in first, and then being of service second, really having good strict boundaries on that during this new moon in Cancer. Now, if you're a Capricorn rising, this is really urging you to focus on your one-on-one relationships, how you are becoming more bonded with your people, and really craving just some sort of community, companionship, and guidance. Maybe you want to hire or create or collaborate in a piece of community, or hire a new mentor, whether it's for business, a personal trainer, just something that makes you feel extra good about yourself. The full moon in Capricorn that's going to be on your ascendant in a couple weeks is going to be a little bit more impactful for you, where you're like, okay, I've prepped myself. I feel like I have a good, stable network of people. I'm really noticing maybe emotionally where people aren't taking care of me, where they need to be released before the full moon in Capricorn. That's happening in a couple weeks, July 10th to be specific. That's going to be very important for you to focus on. Who are the people in your life that really are a value add versus taking away? And just merely like ripping off the band-aid when it comes to those relationships is going to be really important for your emotional well-being during this new moon in Cancer. Now, if you are a Sagittarius rising, you may feel the beach calling you. You are very aware of your physical resources. There's probably a lot that's been going on in the world. I know that there is, but you're really paying attention to the news and the energetic weather, making sure that you have your herbs planted, your gardens tended to, just really being aware of your physical property, physical space, and really allowing other people to help you during this time. Maybe funds have been a little tight for you, if you've been struggling financially, allowing somebody to come through for you, or just looking for alternative resources of support can be really helpful. If you are somebody who is in a place of financial struggle and you need to go to the food bank, don't feel like you have to eat humble pie to do that. Those resources are there for a reason. And knowing like where are there actual government programs or things that you can go to, resources you can go to find aid, to find assistance, you may really be aware of that. Or as Sagittarius Rising also really appreciates freedom, you may also be feeling like you want to gather as many resources as possible ahead of time to be preemptive so that if push came to shove, you wouldn't put yourself in that position to begin with. Now, Jupiter being your ruling planet, which is also in Cancer right now, you always have an air of luck and optimism about you. So I don't say that to fearmonger, but just to help understand where those energies may be coming from. You also just may be feeling, because eighth house activity as well for you, a little bit just like spiritually dry right now. Maybe it feels like there's a little bit of a lack for spiritual intimacy and you're craving that more so too. Maybe developing a spiritual practice with God, the universe, human design, astrology, spirituality in any capacity, doing things to honor your ancestors can all be something that's really helpful right now. I also feel called just intuitively to say really paying attention to your legacy and the path you want to pave. It's probably for somebody that's going to be watching this video. I always get my little psychic hits, but really paying attention to that during this time is important for you as a Sag rising. Now, as a Scorpio rising, you may be really aware of tracking what's happening in your environment. I got that buzzword from Noelle, who's a beautiful generator and friend of mine that is in Patreon, but she is also just somebody that I've really appreciated connecting with as a colleague recently. Beautiful Leo rising, but she was talking about the Scorpio tracking. And in this activation of this new moon in Cancer, you're really aware of what's happened cross-culturally. You're very aware of our ethics, our laws, our values, and maybe educating yourself about things that you want to know to really understand like what's going on in the atmosphere. Really paying attention to where your emotions are extra heightened or where they're getting evolved in emotional fact versus logical fact. And where sometimes for you, especially as a Scorpio, you're so aware that your emotions and that heightened emotional state is actually an emphasis on how you can draw people's attention to how we really need to be more awake and aware of the things that are happening and how to prevent anything from happening if we can, how to be prepared, how to be on it. Mars being the traditional ruler of Scorpio as well as Pluto is also being activated with Virgo in Mars of like really planning for things to happen or planning for things, strict structure and plans for the good, for the in between, to just help alchemize any anxiety you may be feeling right now. Know that you have more control than you think that you do. Now, for my Libra risings, you guys are more aware of your emotional involvement and how emotionally tied you are to your career. Your career is like a bomb for other people's souls. I know I have a couple beautiful Libra risings like Darian, who's here in my community on YouTube, and really focusing on where your emotional ties to your work is really, really, really going to be activated right now. This is a beautiful time for you to figure out how you want to be of service to your people, what you want to charge, how these moments in time or how this mini micro moment in time is really playing into your long-term goals and vision for how you want to grow in your career and reputation, and really tracking and being aware of the client or the archetype of client that you're attracting, the people that are really paying attention to you, offering you feedback, wanting to connect with you, and really paying attention to how you can understand who and what you're marketing to make you and them both successful in any of your business ventures during this time. Now, my Virgo risings, you guys are really looking for deep emotional fulfillment in your community or from any sort of community venture, whether it's going out to your local community day, maybe doing a field day or organizing a field day for your neighborhood and your neighbors. Also, a little bit of the celebration and activation similar to Pisces risings. You guys will have some fun with the schools out for summer, making our summer bucket list type energy. Maybe you make an adult summer camp or a spiritual summer camp or something that's fun along those lines. I feel like spiritual summer camp is probably channeled for somebody that's here. So paying attention to that. Really understanding like how you want to come together with your community and almost really highlighting the fact that there's power or safety in numbers can be a big thing for you to reflect back to us during this time and really to prioritize for yourself. Now, by Cancer risings, this new moon is happening on your ascendant, and it's really focusing on how you can be about you, yourself, and you. Me, myself, and I is really important during this time. Where what is it that you need? What is it that's going to make you feel extra confident during this time? How can you focus on what you want to prioritize and how your energy is going to shift with the way that you show up in the world, and really being able to just feel emotionally regulated, really feeling stable, allowing yourself to have those kinds of like mini dark nights of the soul that last maybe maybe an hour or so that you can purge out any kind of residual energy, right? Any kind of, I think like the Demogorgons from Stranger Things. So that's obviously on my mind as I'm watching this show. You're just letting it go, you're throwing it up, you're getting it out of your system so you can really be there to be a healing source of nourishment, not only for yourself, but other people. Really, anything that you do to help other people is all about helping you, and you could be a good poster child for that during this transit. For my Gemini risings, you guys are really focused on financial security and stability. So, whatever it is that you need to do to focus on making sure that your bank account is looking right, maybe you create a high yield savings account if you haven't already, you're interested in moving around some investments financially. Also, focusing on how you can pivot when it comes to a work venture. You may feel a little more pulled or inclined to change jobs or careers during this time. I really emphasize focusing on incarnation crosses in human design for this. So if you get a free copy of my chart generator at the link in my show notes, you can pull that up and then just drop what your incarnation crosses in the comments below, and I'll make a video for you about that. For life purpose, career, how to just get yourself on track. That can be a really good place for you to focus on if you're just unsure of how to be of service to people in a way that also gets you paid to do what you want to do, because you need to be aware of how to show up in a way that you're ruled by Mercury, right? So it's being very mercurial, communicative, communicating with the right people, marketing yourself in a very specific way. That's also really important for you to pay attention to, and really just leaning into what is it that I feel is going to make me the most successful, even if it seems delusional right now. This is a time where you're like, I know that things seem kind of crazy in the atmosphere, but how can I really be of service in my corner of the world? And it doesn't matter. If I'm going to go out swinging, I'm going to go out trying to focus on what I want my goals, dreams, and aspirations to be. And I don't have that desire on my heart for no reason. The universe is giving me that. God is giving me that to make sure that I can pursue it. Taurus risings, you guys are being really activated in your throat, your thyroid. I'll say I'm not a doctor, but just really being aware of what's happening here, right? I had a couple Taurus risings that were getting a little bit sick, or their voice is feeling hoarse, maybe because of allergies or just sort of illness. They're feeling a little bit depleted because they're really being called to focus on how their words have power. How can you really speak your truth during this time and really be stubborn about the facts that you know? We see this always with Taurus risings. They're not necessarily somebody that's afraid to shy away from being emotionally passionate and emotionally driven by whatever they're communicating about, but exceptionally true during this time to really focus on what feels good when they're speaking their truth, right? How do you maybe want to change your marketing if you are in a social or spiritual entrepreneurial vein in any kind of way, and really being an advocate for the things that you want to speak about during this time. Don't say things because you know that they will get people to see your side, but rather that because they come from a place of truth from you, and that's what's actually going to bring about some more aligned community. Maybe there's also ways that you want to study learning about a different subject right now that can just further your education in a certain realm so that you can speak more passionately and loudly about, again, the things that you wish to speak about. Last but not least, my Aries risings folks, this is a time for you to focus on creating stability in your home, because next month when we go into Leo season, you're really going to want to be out and about and seen shining in some way, shape, or form. This is a great time for you to hermit even more, really block out any kind of outside noise. You may be feeling a little bit nostalgic, so maybe you have a childhood show that's on in the background as you're grounded at home, working on your projects, writing the outlines, taking the time not to film, not to be out and about, but what are all the things that you need to get your ducks in a row to, again, hermit before you show up and show out and cannot wait to be seen. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it as we go into Cancer season. We are in Cancer season and the new moon in Cancer. Don't forget that I have Patreon. My Patreon folks, Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to be doing our new moon in Cancer manifestation circle. And then the $5 Cancer Care Workbook is down there for you guys, all about coming home to yourself if you feel called to get that too and just want a little bit of extra support that you can use every Cancer season from now until forever. So thank you guys so much. I will see you on the next video. Don't forget to comment and let me know what you want to hear more about on my page so I could be of service to you guys, because after all, I don't just want to be talking into the void. I want to create content that's actually helpful for you and where you're at during this moment in time. Thank you so much, and I will see you soon.